Hello viewers, welcome to another episode. Today I'll be showing you how to cover a cake with fondant icing. Let's get straight to it. Now here is my butter which I'll be using to coat my cake. The plate for mixing icing sugar, to mix in the butter, measuring tape, color, I'm using blue color, and that's my board to lay my cake on. And here is my turntable. This is the rubber turntable. They are different kind. Here is my fondant already made with glucose, CMC and gelatin. And this is my sprinkles. I might use it or not, it's optional. Then this is my preservative castello, my egg for drip, and this is tissue paper, oil for cleaning. This is my rolling pin. We have the pizza cutter to remove the extra fondant. This is my sweeteners, my corn flour to roll the fondant. Here I'm already mixing the butter and the icing sugar together. Little by little you pour in the icing sugar, sieving it. You have to sieve it before you can pour it inside the butter. Mix it for the coating of the cake. So sieve your icing sugar to avoid lumps. However smooth your icing sugar is, still have to sieve it because you never know where lumps will come from. So I'm sieving my icing sugar before putting it into my butter. Add the icing sugar that is equal to the butter so that it will align well. Sieve. Make sure to break all the lumps that you find in the sieve. Here I will pour my castello on my board. This is to clean it. It's just like methylated spirit, you know how you used clean wood to avoid infection. This one you clean it, clean the board from any dirt. Clean the second board that I'll be using for shaping, just to smoothen the edges of the cake. That's what I'm using the second board for. So I'll go back to mixing my icing sugar and butter. This one I do not need to add flavor, but you can add flavor if you like. This I'm using to cover the cake. I'll use it to rub on the cake before I apply my fondant on it. Flavor isn't required. So I'll mix it gently. mixing till you get a very fine texture, not too thick and not too soft. So here is how it comes out at the end. See that it's not too thick, it's not too soft. This is how the consistency should look like, so that it can be able to flow well when you are rubbing it all over the cake after trimming. So on my board, I'll be rubbing the butter on it. This is used to make the cake stick to the board, to avoid sliding and falling at any situation. After rubbing, I'll go and get my cakes, which I'll use to put on the board. So here are the cakes. There are 2 layers of cakes which I'll be putting on top of each other already. So I have trimmed the cakes, so I'll just be rubbing my butter on it. The cakes were just brought out to the fridge, so you allow it to, cool down to normal temperature before you start using it. Ensure that your sizes are the same, and you begin to rub it all over. You can start from anywhere when rubbing the cake, but it's advisable to start from the top in order to gain easy access to the sides. So you rub the cake. This is very important before putting the fondant icing, so that your fondant will be left with crumbs. That's why it's important to let the butter dry on the cake before you apply your fondant on it. So you rub it all over the cake. Ensure that it goes around the cake. Make sure that after you finish rubbing your cake with the buttercream frosting, clean the board which your cake is seated on, so that when you are placing your fondant, it doesn't stain from the board that is dirty. So ensure you clean the board that your cake is sitting on before putting your fondant, because your fondant is going to lay on the cake. Sometimes the board, but clean the board first. Here, I'm already done with the buttercream frosting coating of the cake. me to do some mini adjustments to the cake.
Okay. Let's start.
This is my work surface where I'll be needing my fondant. So first of all, I'll floor my table and use my hands to knead the fondant, because since I didn't mix it immediately, I'll have to use my hands so that it becomes softer and more easy to use. This bag that I'm tearing now is the corn flour I'm using instead of icing sugar. Corn flour does not have taste, that's why I prefer to use it. Now I'll start using my hands. In case the fondant is bigger than this, you have to share it into small sizes so that you can work effectively. So here now it's beginning to stretch, which shows that it's good for working with. You can work with this fondant for now, because that's what we are looking for. This is the consistency we are looking for. If your fondant is breaking and it's not stretchy like this, you have a difficult and frustrating work flow with the icing.
You're not recording.
So yeah, I also flow the board. Roll it with rolling pin into a circular shape. Because since your cake is circular, you have to roll it in circular shape so that it goes well. And if it's not rolling in a circular shape, you gather it, form it again and roll it again. Because the aim is to make it sit on your cake well, that we don't cry at the end. Ensure that it's not too flat so that it doesn't tear when it's on the cake.
Careful. I go slap the cake.
So I just discovered that the one on the table was too small for the cake. So I decided to join them together and roll it again. After running the fondant, this is what it looks like. If you are a beginner, use your measuring tape to measure the width of the fondant on the cake. Here I've placed it on the cake. And sweeping the edges. is why I said you shouldn't make it too flat because of this kind of stretching. If it is stretched too much, it will tear. So I've gathered it around and I'll use my pizza cutter to cut it round. The extra edges on the board. Clean your board edges and start smoothing it with your smoother. You can use the tool if applicable to smoothen the edges and the sides of your cake.
Kozia? Who's Ma?
Before I forget, when working with all these kind of things, ensure that your hands are clean because it's very essential to ensure a sufficient work so that I don't make the fondant dirty and all that. So I use the board in order to create smooth edge. If you see that the board is not giving you the desired result, you can use your tool smoothness to work it out. Right. Use oil to clean out the dust of the corn flour that is on it. You can see that I changed method because it's like the tissue was touching the cake, which is not good. I'm not supposed to digest tissue, so I had to pour it on it. That way it didn't make the tissue to touch the cake. Only the oil, which was used for cleaning and making the cake to shine, was used. Ensure you use a clean oil, not the one that you use to fry akara or egg or plantain. In Akuma instance, you want to use to clean cake. Everything will be smelling horrible. So ensure you use a clean oil, which you have not used to fry anything, to use to clean the cake and make it shine. It's okay. So here, so I was designing the cake. It's a boy's cake, so I wanted it to look manly at least. Look at that glass here. Theme of the cake is going to be blue and white. So if you know you don't have mixture which you use for your fondant, place the designs. You can use butter as well, so that the design can stick to the cake. I'm going to make it like a blue and the white colors. So it's almost looking like a baby cake, but at least the beauty came out.
Stop it. Stop it. Give me, show this one here.
Here's how it comes out. I'm placing the balls on it by the side.
Stop.
So here is the drip which I'm mixing. For the drip you use only egg white and icing sugar. This is the consistency, just the right consistency that I need for the drip. And here is how the drip
This is where that's crossing up.
Thank you very much.